Hi gorgeous Aquarius, how are you going? This is your June general shadow reading. Welcome in if you're new to the channel, hello. And if you're return viewer, thank you very much for coming back. Now, I'm embracing the Aquarius rebel spirit today. All the other shadow readings I've done so far, I've used different decks, but this one, I was getting ready for yours and it was just like, nah, just do it this way. I was like, oh, okay, so let's just do it this way. They're not usually very clear when they say things like that. However, let's get into it. So we're talking about forgiveness this month. Breaking the chains that are holding you down and feeling light and free again. Letting your emotions out, autumn. And that's basically the only way we break those ties that bind. I remember I was angry with someone for a very, very long time. And one day I just woke up and thought, I'm just going to let this go. You know, I don't know why. I don't know why it was that day. I don't know why I decided to do that. But I just decided to do that and let it go. And honest to God, I felt about 10 kilos lighter. I felt like I could breathe. I felt like I wasn't carrying a yoke around my shoulders. It was just, and it was all in my mind. It was just a decision to let it go. Why was I hanging on to it? It was serving no purpose. It was just making me bitter on the inside. And so I just decided to let it go. Now, this might be tricky for you because we've got the solar plexus and the demands card. And those two together can talk about a little bit of anger, a little bit of resentment, and a little bit of how. I just heard someone say, how can I do all this forgiveness work and, you know, spend time in nature and getting back to my spiritual side when I've got all this stuff to do? And nobody understands that when you're so busy, you can't just sit under a triangle and meditate for an hour and a half. That's the kind of thinking that needs to be overcome. Priorities. So you're currently seeing your priorities as answering the demands of others, being at the demand of others, but you're not on your priorities list. And so that can create some resentment in when we think, oh, I have to do everything. Why is everything up to me? You know, there's your resentment, and that's what's holding you down. When we do this growth, we realize very uncomfortably that if we're being honest, we choose to do it. No matter what excuse we give ourselves, we choose that. Because not everybody in our situation chooses the same thing. So, as an example, I have to go home, clean the house and make a bunch of muffins for my son's school tomorrow, and I have to help my daughter with her diorama for school tomorrow, and I still have to cook tea and feed the dogs and then walk the dog. Okay. Back up for a second. Do you really have to make muffins? Or can you buy them? Yes. You can buy them and hand them in. Now, if you say anything after that, it is an excuse and a reason you are giving yourself of why you have to make them. Okay? All the other mothers do it. So what? They won't think I'm good enough. Do they pay your rent? Do they pay your mortgage? No. So, you know, their judgment is on them. With your daughter's diorama, okay? Why do you have to do it? Isn't it her? Isn't it hers? And why is it the last night? Why has she left it till the last night? So we all have choices, and there are always ways that you can work around those. You can give her what she needs, but make her do it herself. Okay? Walking the dog. Get the kids to walk the dog. They wanted it. Get them to walk the dog and feed the dog. Because if you don't, this is what the outcome's going to be like. If you don't change your priorities to look after yourself, and you know, this could be forgiving yourself for putting so much pressure on yourself. Where did that come from? Where did it come from that you had to do this? Where did it come from that you had to be this person? That everything was up to you? Where did that come from in the first place, that you believed that? Thank you. Okay. The crown chakra came out and I was like, okay, how can this work in with them being aligned and finding themselves out of the mud and, you know, working their way up to this more balanced. This isn't about, in this situation, it's not about, you know, being the rainbow bridge and spiritual downloads, although it can include those. In this situation, it's talking about balance. Finding balance. So it's not just your solar plexus that you're working from. It's not that one that's on overdrive and everywhere else is just kind of falling by the wayside. This is a choice you have to make, and a big one. When you see, this is a seed, and this is you. Okay. Are you going to put yourself into a nourishing situation where, yeah, it might seem a bit dark for a while because it's unknown, but you will grow from that because you're nourished? Or will you just stay outside and keep doing what you're doing, staying this seed, and end up being frozen to death or cooked to death, or, you know, just crumbling because you don't have any of the stuff you need to grow? This is your choice. And so that's where the lotus comes from. You'll be in the dark for a little while, but you will finally come out and go, oh, that's what that's about. So I think there's something else. Wait for it. but everything we believe has been taught to us. And it's up to us when we get to being, you know, the grody up, whether we choose to continue those beliefs or to look around and go, is that a healthy belief? Do I want to keep that? Or, you know, is it a bit outdated and not working anymore? Perfection doesn't exist. And if anybody is judging you for not being perfect, well, then they need to look in the mirror, and that's their issue, because they're not perfect if they're judging you. Okay, let's take that one home. There we go. Time and career. Someone in your past has told you that you have to work hard for everything. Whether you're a stay-at-home mother or whether you're a, you know, high-flying barrister or whatever you are doing, you've been told that you have to work hard for something. You have to get a solid career and go forward. So that is a big demand in itself. Especially when you've got other voices saying you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do something else. You set priorities and then you get sick. The reason this time card has nothing on it is because how it moves is up to you. In the past time, that may have been true. Now, you might be rushing it, trying to get everything done. But in the future, how do you want it to go? Do you want it to go fast? Do you want it to go slow? Do you want it to, like, pound in the back of your head, tick, 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 tick? Or do you want it to just be this, you know, silent reminder only to keep you to an appointment or two every now and then? Which way? What way? How do you want your time to fly? I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye.